Hey, Charles Mackenzie, President of Infected Blood Australia, just having a seat here on Saturday afternoon and just saying good day to the new people that have joined our group. Thank you very much. Some of you are not affected by contaminated blood and some of you are. We've had people who've received contaminated blood transfusions. These are hepatitis C contaminated blood transfusions. They've contacted us. Welcome to the group. And we've also had parents who've lost children, and a warm welcome to you too. And as you may or may not know, I was a former child victim of contaminated blood. And this group, Infected Blood Australia, has had various different names over the decades. We were called Tainted Blood Product Action Group many years ago, Tainted Blood Australia, and now the simpler Infected Blood Australia. Okay, everyone understands what that is. We're here to get justice for victims of Australia's deadliest medical scandal, contaminated blood. Australia's blood supplies were contaminated by hepatitis C before the 2000s. And I just want to say this, we've actually had contact from people who've been infected beyond the 2000s and even people up to 2010 that we've had reach out who've been infected with hepatitis C as a result of blood transfusion. Well, I didn't see that coming. And yet that adds just further weight to the argument we're so desperate for an investigation here in Australia. There's something desperately wrong with our public health system, okay, that it hasn't actually given us answers as to what went so wrong with the blood supply that's infected tens of thousands of Australians with a deadly virus like hepatitis C. And this calamity in our blood supply, this atrocity, also affected people with the bleeding disorder haemophilia. And essentially many of these haemophiliacs, friends of mine and people in the group, a lot of them didn't need these treatments to survive. It's a bit different from blood transfusions in that way. Someone who's had a blood transfusion might have their life in peril, or there might be others who are having it for elective surgery or whatever as just a backup. But for people with haemophilia, often they were told that these treatments didn't even contain blood. They were told at other times they'd been purified, and that in Australia, no one was really told about the risks of these haemophilia treatments in the 1980s, and 1,400 haemophiliacs lost their lives, okay? And some of the people that lost their lives, of course, were children, and children known to me and friends of mine. And this is why I'd like to make this commitment to anybody who's just joined the group, and certainly to those affected and to parents who lost children. Infected Blood Australia is seeking the most ethical outcome. We're looking to get answers, okay? We are fighting for a Royal Commission of Inquiry. We're doing very well with our campaign. I've been around for decades, and right now we're really, really close, okay? And we're being guided by an excellent lawyer from the UK called Michael Imperato, and he helped force this infected blood inquiry in the United Kingdom, which is the United Kingdom's largest ever legal investigation, and we're looking to do the same here. We're looking to do the same soon. But right now we're looking to get urgent help because although we're seeking answers, we're also seeking immediate and urgent help for people in our group who are desperately ill. We have people in our group who are fighting cancer as a consequence of having been contaminated blood victims. The virus hepatitis C is a leading cause of liver cancer, and it's a leading cause of liver transplantation in Australia. And this is why our public health system has to acknowledge how on earth tens of thousands of Australians were infected by hepatitis C through their healthcare and through these contaminated blood products, these contaminated treatments and blood transfusions. So that's where we're going. We're going for justice. As always, if you go to our bio in the link, you can support our call for a Royal Commission of Inquiry into the Australian Red Cross CSL blood scandal. And once again, a very warm welcome to those new people who've been infected, and those people who are affected, those people who lost children. I can promise you, yes, that we're here to get answers. I too am seeking answers for children that lost their lives. These are people that didn't survive, and I did. So I'm duty bound. I'm going to do the right thing, and I'm really going to insist that this group has the most ethical outcomes, that we have a really good judge-led investigation, and that we actually serve as something of a model for the rest of the world. The other countries of the world had these contaminated blood scandals. It was a global scandal before the 2000s. Because of the cover-up here in Australia, Australians didn't get to hear about our chapter of this global disaster, or this atrocity, I should say. And that's because of cover-ups. Australia's public broadcaster, the ABC, never once investigated in decades, despite pleas from victims. So other countries have been through this before us. They've had their legal investigations. Canada, Ireland, and now the United Kingdom. We're going to learn from them what they got right and what they got wrong, okay? And we're going to try and implement the absolute best things that we can for all of those people, the thousands and thousands of families that have been affected by Australia's deadliest medical scandal, contaminated blood. Thank you, and have a great remainder of your weekend. Goodbye.